Hey, sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here live for another edition of the Thursday Night Forecast. Can the NCAA regain control of college football or college athletics? And we're also going to be talking about a little bit of NBA action, a little bit of the NFL action with the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday, and more. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you joining us tonight. I got my man Mossberg of Level Up Sports 10 in the house with me tonight. How you feeling, Mossberg?
Feeling pretty good, man. It's just another great evening, and it's good to see you as well. I know I haven't been seen in a few days, but it's definitely good to see you. Then a quick shout out, if you don't mind. The other day, I know we always talk about spreading love, being kind and all those different things. I seen a bus driver when I was getting on a bus from work, and I told this bus driver that I would make sure that I would shout them out in a recognition of that kind gesture. And that made me think about when we had the Dakota bus driver that was tuning in from driving the bus that one evening. So, man, shout out to the drivers. If you're out there, continue to drive safe and we appreciate you and what you do as well. But thankful to have me and good to see you again this evening as we do what we do best, talk these great sports with another banger.
Back with another banger for sure. We got a lot of college football players out there who have been, or college athletes who have been coming at the NCAA, taking them to court or filing lawsuits, trying to get another year of eligibility and whatnot. Let's talk about Trinidad Chambliss, who received his ruling the other day. They denied him another year of eligibility. Are you in favor of this ruling by the NCAA to have Trinidad Chambliss's eligibility be ended? No more for him.
It's when I think about the eligibility, is up and down for me. And with him, specifically, it's like, are we gonna run into another Pavia type of situation, or will this be the normal thing? And I think this is a way of the NCAA trying to put their foot down before it become a revolving door with players trying to get that extra year eligibility. So I'm actually okay with what they're ruling because I think that just opens up the door for more players, and it's just going to be like the portal pretty soon. So if they like they did, they put a halt to it now, and I think they got to, try to put their feet down. I think that's another way of what they're doing also.
Oh, man, SEC Sean said he is definitely in favor of Chambliss not getting another year of eligibility. And he said the same for Aguilar. He hopes that he has the same ruling as well, and he doesn't get another year as well. We got our sister in the house with us, Robin Williams. How you feeling this evening, Robin? And my man SEC Sean. Both of them are in the chat. If you're out there in the chat, please drop us a line so that way we know that you out there and you're following what we're saying. And let us know what you think. Are you in favor of the NCAA telling Trinidad Chambliss, you're done, your eligibility is up, you're going to have to move on either to the NFL or the CFL or go get your professional job, but you can't play any more college football? I'm in agreement with it as well. I really feel like this is an opportunity for the NCAA to sort of regain some of their teeth because they've been biting without any teeth here lately. They've been
Right.
all gums. So hopefully they can go ahead and continue to strengthen themselves, man, so that they can start making some things happen, especially when it comes to college football.
It's good to see you in here, Miss Williams. SEC Sean as well. Great show, by the way. I didn't get all of it, but great show about that race that you just put out there for us. We appreciate that as well.
Joey Aguilar was mentioned, along with several other players, are suing the NCAA for another year of eligibility, like Diego Pavia, Joey Aguilar, as we mentioned. Is this an opportunity for the NCAA to gain some control over college athletics?
Yeah, I definitely think it is because the I think I'm not the lawyer, I'm not nobody's attorney or anything like that, but just my experience from watching a little bit of TV and my own thoughts and opinion. I think they could take some of that Chambliss situation into court with this Diego Pavia Aguilar situation. I think it's crazy that they try to continue to play, respectably, of what they do and maybe their passion or whatnot of the college aspect. But I think, at this point, they had to pass it on. Like you said, go to the CFL. There's so many different leagues where you could go out here and still continue, this football life that you may love, but you might, just love the college aspect. But I think it's time to move on and give these other players a shot at playing. But I definitely think they gain control with this. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that about them moving on and giving the next player an opportunity to play because I think that's really how I feel about it too. It's like, listen, man, you've had your time in college football. Your eligibility has run out. Now you're petitioning to get some more time. Maybe because you didn't get to play as much college football as you would like to have a big enough resume to where the NFL sees you as a viable first, second, or third round quarterback at the quarterback position. But for me, I'm thinking to myself, man, listen, this guy has been waiting to play. And I understand the way college football is now. These players want to try to play as long as they can, make as much money as they can, but at the same time, try it. Even the teams now, they want to keep a veteran guy on their roster. I'm guaranteeing that Tennessee wants Aguilar to get another year. I know that Ole Miss wanted Chambliss to get another year because they want to be competitive. But the reality is that door has to close. Quinn Ewers had another year of eligibility. But I'm telling you, as a Texas Longhorn fan, I was ready for him to move on because I was ready for the Arch Manning era to begin. Now,
Yeah.
just imagine if he would have stayed another year, we would have lost Arch Manning, right? And not had the opportunity to have him for another year
Another year.
after having him play this year. I think when your time is up, you just got to go on, man. You just got to move on. And I understand why they do it, but I'm glad that the NCAA ruled against Chambliss, and I hope they rule against Pavia and Aguilar. And I'm thinking a lot of these players are feeling like this. If we just take them to court, they're going to give in. But the NCAA didn't give in this case with Chambliss. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping they continue their ways when
Agreed.
it comes to that. Let's see what my man SEC Sean is saying here about the topic. He said, there's an opportunity, but I think they are afraid of losing and looking weaker than most people think they already are. That is definitely a factor for the NCAA SEC, Sean. They figure if they lose this thing, then that makes them look even weaker than what they have been looking here lately. But we all agree that they need to go ahead and start taking on all these cases. And I think that's one of our next questions. And
Yeah.
he said, but someone needs to take control of this. It's out of control. I agree with you. They definitely do need to do that. And I'm glad that just imagine if Deuce Knight, who is ready to play, who wants to play,
He's
has to
ready.
sit another year behind Chambliss. I know he would be like, dude, I'm out of here. I had a chance to
Yep.
go hit the portal. I thought
Yeah.
this guy was going to be gone.
Yeah.
And one take Zay is saying that he believes that Chambliss is going to get reinstated. Chambliss will appeal to the state court in Mississippi and get the injunction. I'm waiting to see that, man. I'm hoping that no court in the land, because listen, man, listen. These these attorneys, or not attorneys, but these judges, they have to realize how out of control college athletics is right now And if they rule in favor of Chambliss, which they might do, because they're going to try to,
Yeah.
they will probably want to side on the side of the young man as opposed to the big bad NCAA. But I feel like this, man. They need to go ahead and let the NCAA get some of their juice back so that they can fix some of this stuff, man. Because the reality is nobody else is going to do it. It's like they're waiting on the NCAA.
Totally agree.
I mean, the SEC. Sean said he thinks that you might be right one take. I think I think it's very likely that it can happen. I just
Yeah.
don't want it to. I don't want it to happen.
Because
I
then we
want
going
this thing to be done with.
because the question is like, I mean, in this situation with Chambliss, if he makes this appeal, you got to think Knight's gonna want to go. He's gonna want to be in a portal. He's gonna want to leave, and then you're gonna have a whole nother situation at the table that now you have to deal with that situation. And we seen how it ended up. I think with the Nico situation, we talked about that last year and how the domino effect was with that, and like we've talked about so far with, I think this is just the NCAA trying to get some kind of stronghold before it get out of hand. Because as we know, it seemed like every time they bring up some rule, the NCAA can't get a hold on it. And this is the first time in a little while that they've actually had a hold on what they've said, and it's meaning something. So we'll see, in the weeks to come. Because I think he'll definitely put one in. That's a great thought too. One take. We appreciate you and tuning in as well, buddy.
Yeah. If you're the NCAA, would you stop worrying about litigation and take on all cases to regain control of the college sports machine?
You got to. I think you have to. I think it's going to get out of hand. I think watching sports I know sports have changed, over the years. Things change, but just in the last 2 years, it's been out of hand. It's been crazy. It's something different every year, at least two to three different things that we looking at to where the NCAA is trying to get some kind of hold on, but they just can't. And this is the first time that they have. Hopefully, it could be a big effect.
Yeah, I think at this point, man, they got to go ahead and say, listen, we're gonna take on all commerce because we see the shambles that this thing is in. Partly because we didn't do what we needed to do on the front end. We were trying to fight against ever having NIL come to fruition. Now that it's happening, it's done, it's happening, it's rolling. They got to find a way to go ahead and corral this thing. And I think if the NCAA sits down and does what they need to do, put rules in place, policies in place to govern this thing, they can regain their power in college athletics, man, and really be like the savior of all this madness that's going on. They could be the one who could turn that thing around if they would just do it and don't worry about litigation. Don't worry. They're going to take you to court because they feel like you're a punk, NCAA.
That's
They're
it.
going to take you to court. And even if you win that first round, they're going to appeal. They're going to take it to another court. They're going to do the things that they need to do to try to win you over, NCAA. But you got to stand your ground. You got to keep fighting. Don't act like you ain't got the money to do it because you've been sitting on a shitload of money for
Yeah.
decades, for centuries. So don't
Right.
act like you ain't got no money.
They need
But
to
I
go to
think
the
they got to
table.
take it on, man, and they gotta be out in front of everything that's happening. They
Mhm.
got to get out in front of it, and anything that look like it's going to come down the line. You got these coaches playing around in the gray area. NCAA, you got to do something about it because even coaches, conferences, commissioners, they're all looking at the NCAA like they respect them, but they really don't.
They really
But they
don't.
really don't
It
because
make
they
me
testing the waters everywhere. They stay in
everywhere.
the gray area on everything that has been mentioned, everything that has been new that has come about. They've been staying in the gray area, trying to see who's going to regulate it, who's going to stop us from doing it. And if don't nobody stop them, NCAA, they're going to keep doing it. But it's your job to stop them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you just not seeing the link one time.
We was waiting on you, Zay. We sent the link. We was waiting on you. Get on in here, man. I ain't seen you. I just seen you when I've been watching, but get on in here, Zay. Come on in. My God,
Yeah,
man.
you right about that, SC Sean. They got more money than anybody that's trying to take them to court. They're suing them. They got way more money than they could outlast anybody.
Yeah.
So I would they should take on all of them.
I wonder if they put the figures out of how much the cases be taken up, like as far as in the money, because I know Pavia went to try to get his appeal. I think last year as well. So I think Chad, he just might get it because they had a great point in that.
He, I mean, Chambliss definitely might win his appeal, but I mean, they got to keep on fighting it. Like, listen, man, you've had your time.
Yeah.
You haven't been able to prove that you had this injured year where you can get a gray shirt or whatever. If you can't prove that, man, then hey, man, listen, you done. Go on and ride off in the sunset. You had a really good season this last season. Go ahead, ride off into the sunset.
Hmm.
Let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about the NBA. And what are your thoughts on some of the trades that have happened so far in the NBA with the trade deadline coming to a close? I think at 11:59 p.m. tonight.
Man, the crazy thing is the countdown begins. You know, you got hours, couple hours for these last trades to happen. I think it's going to be a couple more trades before this final hour. But I think the Cleveland Cavaliers have came out, made a major move in the East. I think quite a few teams, made some moves. I like the move Golden State made, getting Kristaps Porzingis, even though Butler's out with his injury. The Hawks and the rebuild that they're doing, Washington and the rebuild that they're doing. I even like the Utah moves that was made, getting Jaren Jackson with Ace Bailey and then them having a point guard in George. When Utah has a point guard and a forward, we know what that's done for them, in the past. So with them having a small forward, Ace Bailey, you just never know what could happen in Utah. But I'm really looking at that Cleveland Cavaliers team. I wish City League TV T1 was here. Die hard Cavs fan. I think Harden and Mitchell with the bigs down low, I think you've really given them the ability to be heavy volume shooters, doing what they do best, finding their players, and Mobley just being himself. I don't know. I think Cleveland is a dangerous team. You don't just get Harden and not be a dangerous team when you still have Mitchell and Mobley. So I definitely like Harden being in Cleveland. And we could go see him before, going to farewell tour in the next few years if he end his career over in Cleveland. That would be good to see as well for us.
My man SEC Sean said he's glad that AD is out of Dallas. Um, the Mavs got them some good stock for him. He said he does not like the Harden trade to Cleveland. And he
Mm.
said Mossy said, who's going to run the point now in Cleveland now that they got Harden? Who's going to run the point there? And our man FanDuel Zaya said the Wizards are coming if they can get AJ
Yeah.
or Caleb Wilson. They're going to be tough next year. I mean, I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If I'm one of those teams, I would not have taken AD, and I wouldn't have taken Harden, man. I don't want neither one of them old dudes, even though they still got some game left in them.
Yeah,
I'm just not dealing with them old dudes, man.
yeah.
For one, we've already seen Harden go to several different places, and he has been a cancer. We've also seen that AD cannot stay healthy to save his life. I'm just not putting any stock into them OGs like that, man. Not them. Now I'll go put some stock in some of them, like the dude in Milwaukee. I'll go get him. I even put some stock in Steph Curry, borderline KD. You know what I'm saying? But I would not have put no stock in those two guys, man. AD and Harden. I would have let them go ahead going about their business. And I'm quite sure that the teams that they left are probably happy that they left because now they got to get some valuable stuff there. If Utah get that first pick, man, they gonna be looking really.
Um,
They get that first pick. They got a chance to either get the Boozer boy or they can get AJ. AJ is already out there in that part of the country, so I mean, either you couldn't go wrong with either one of them. Either one of them.
then they picked up Dennis Schroeder, and for Cleveland. So I think they'll bring him in off the bench for a Harden's breather. That way, it's still being Donovan Mitchell's team as we've seen him really flourish this year in a lot of ways. And I don't know, man. The way that East is, if you really think about it, Boston got him a big, but this is Cleveland's year. They just went all in. And you know what they say in Cleveland, all in. I think this is Cleveland going all in to try to get not just to that Eastern Conference, but try to get to that finals as well. So I think you're looking at a good fit for them. For me, I don't know what it is. I think it's good for this Cleveland basketball team because you got to think Harden is actually up in his assists this year. Harden's been playing, pretty good when he's been playing. Clippers team is 17-4, 17-3 or something, 16-4 the last 20. They've been playing pretty good overall. So I think this is his time to leave to try to get him one with a good team in Cleveland. And like I said, I think it's overall upgrade for Cleveland. And like you said, yeah, AD got to be healthy. If Anthony Davis can stay healthy, you got Trey Young, Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell. That means you got a for sure shooter, a for sure post. You never know what Atlanta could get in the draft pick, like FanDuel Zay said. I mean, it's a lot of things that could still happen in these next few hours. So I'm definitely interested. What's one take, Zay? What's your thoughts about JJ Redick getting one of his former Duke shooters and Luke Kennard over in LA? Do you think that's an upgrade for your roster all around, bringing him in for Gabe Vincent in that draft pick, or what's your thoughts on that one?
He also said, one take said, when you're in basketball purgatory, you have to swing for the fence. I guess so. I guess so. That's
They
pretty funny.
swing. They got that.
He
They
said
got
they need a bigger wing. Yeah. I hope we see the AD that was in New Orleans. One take there. I hope we do. And our man SEC Sean got a question as well. He said, "You think the Mavs should let Irvin sit out and come back next year at this point?" I definitely think that he should sit out. I don't. If I'm Kyrie Irvin, I would want to sit out if I'm him.
I think quiet is kept. A lot of people don't know the Mavs are not sitting with the best record in the NBA. If we really look at the Mavs, they could get in this lottery somehow too, tanking the season. So it's a lot of teams. I think with these moves that's made, I think they positioning themselves for arguably one of the best draft classes that we gonna see coming in. I think next year, and we could talk all day about draft class this year, draft class that year, but I think coming in, this is going to be arguably one of the classes that you can compare to this '03 class, when it comes to LeBron and their class players. I just think we really can because we seeing them live and direct on the college level. Not a lot of them is leaving high school and going straight to the NBA. Nothing against it, but we are seeing them, perform on this college level, and they're doing some special things for sure.
Is there any other players you want to see uh make it get traded to another team before the trade deadline ends?
I want to see Giannis come to my Timberwolves with my guy Ant Man. I would love to see that. Got about 3 hours and 45 minutes. I don't know how many seconds. I'm gonna just say 3 hours, 44 minutes and some seconds. But that would be that would be wonderful. We got the draft picks. I think we got the pieces to do it. Um, it would be nice to see Ant Man get him a superstar paired with him outside of a more so I would say role player, not that superstar. I think he gets Giannis. I think they could definitely be a power to compete with, as they already are in the West, even stronger.
Man, SEC Sean said Luca back to Dallas. Wouldn't that be crazy if that happened?
Man,
Well, I was screaming for MB to get traded, man, but maybe MB recognizes that his time might be dwindling down. So he's been playing some really, really good basketball uh, here lately, anyway. So hopefully he can continue to do that. But if we get in the playoffs, man, and he start doing that old BS that he be doing in the playoffs, man, getting hurt and stuff, man, we're gonna miss a golden opportunity to off this dude, man, and get rid of him right now. Which
yeah.
don't seem like that's gonna happen, but man, I surely wish they could get some pieces for him, man. I
Now,
mean, hell, I would like to have Giannis if it could happen.
yeah, is Paul George? Did he's still hurt, right?
Nah, Paul George is back. He
Okay,
played the
so
last couple games.
my thing. I looked last week because there's so much that goes on, but I know he was hurt, but I didn't know he'd been back. So I watched it a few weeks ago. He was averaging about 16 since coming back from his injuries. What are your thoughts on just Paul George being out there, knowing what he's been through the last couple seasons? Do you think him being healthy can he play a part of the push with Embiid being healthy?
Well, FanDuel Zed just said he just got a 25-game suspension for substance abuse. Wow, dude. Listen, we should have never got Paul George in the first place. And I mean, Paul George he was hot 10 years ago when he was in Indiana, and even when he went over to I think the Clippers or wherever, he was hot back then. But I'm telling you, man. I mean, I understand that these guys have played a lot of basketball and they still are good. But when you start looking at the way the game is played now, those guys, man, let them dudes ride off into the sunset. I would not be giving these guys these big old contracts, and they ain't living up to them. This guy is not living up to his contract. And B right now is not living up to his contract. AD not living up to their contract. I would rather see some young guys out there that just out there high flying, jacking threes, and just doing that kind of stuff, man, than to be wasting money on guys who it ain't even no fun to even watch them play, man, because they just out there in the way, in my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but I feel like they just in the way, man. And he said the trade deadline ended today at 3 o'clock. So ain't nothing else happening unless
Now,
somebody get waived or released or something like that.
I know, I know, I believe McCain was traded today from your Philadelphia 76ers yesterday, I believe.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts, even though I know this is one of FanDuel Zay's guy, and I watched him. What was your thoughts about seeing him not being a Philly uniform, coming throughout the rest of the season, do you think coming back from the injury, he was working himself way back, getting better, or do you think, you know, next, would it be better off for him not to be in Philly? I kind of liked him being there with the Paul George situation.
I watched him a couple of times with him, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. When you got them two guards that they got, they needed somebody else.
Max,
They
man.
needed somebody else, man. Now that Embiid is playing really, really well, that's helping a lot. But yeah, I'm not mad that McCain is gone, and Paul George is on this suspension. I wish he wasn't on the substance though, but I don't I don't mind it because we need to get somebody else that's going to be able to play with these young bulls, man, and be. So if somebody else gets an opportunity to try to shine, the gate has been open for them. You better take advantage of this opportunity, uh, because you may not be there next year either. Yeah, he ended up going to OKC.
Okay,
FanDuel said because what's the name is has a abdomen strain, so he might miss a little bit of time. So they wanted to bring somebody in to help fill in for SGA. I'm okay with him being gone, Mossberg. I am. I'm okay with that. Our man SEC Sean wants to know whatever happened to Ben Simmons. Wonder if he can come back to come back to college. My Aggies, hold up. Hey, listen. I bet he wish he could go back to college, cause
man,
the way the NBA, well, he done got him a boatload of money though. So
man, boatload of money.
my thing is when Ben Simmons was at Philadelphia, man, he made it look like he was going to be really, really nice that first year.
Yeah,
But what I didn't like about and any guy out there that if you have an opportunity to play in the NBA, you got to understand what the game is now. You have got to be able to shoot the ball, man.
I'll be
If
able
you
to shoot
can't
that rock.
shoot, there's really not a whole lot of room for a guy who teams can just sag on and not worry about him shooting, especially at that position. You know, the Dennis Rodmans of the world who's going to play defense and rebound, and he could get you a bucket too. Now he didn't shoot a whole lot, but he could get you a bucket if he had to.
Yeah,
But Ben Simmons, man, I feel for him. Hopefully, he can get his self together, man, and revamp his career. But I don't think it's gonna happen unless he learn how to shoot. If you
yeah.
don't learn how to shoot, it ain't gonna happen.
And one thing, since we talking about him, no disrespect, I love Ben Simmons' game in high school. I watched him, from Mount Verde to LSU, even to the NBA. And one thing I sat back and I asked myself is, you know, I go to the gym and it's just for warming up or working out, playing some rec game. I shoot for like 10, 20 minutes before I get on the court. So I always think like, why would you not work on the jump shot? Like he could have been. I think we were looking to reincarnated Grant Hill if he would have worked on his jump shot. People say, "Wow, that's a big comparison." If he would have worked on his jump shot, just imagine what Ben Simmons could have been. Taking the time to shoot his jump shots. I mean, you talking about a freak of nature, the way he moved, and it was always so many things that you know he had to go face adversity and things like that. So man, it's something, man. Just thinking about how great of a player he could have been, even though he was still the last full season he had. I think he was averaging like 15, close to 10 a game, with about 4 or 5 assists. Like he could still go. You put him with the right team, put him with a Houston with KD. I don't know. That might give him some thump. But I'm just saying, you talking about a defensive person that could definitely handle the ball and so many more things. Something.
Everybody in the chat, could y'all give me a yes or no on this? Is Ben Simmons a bigger bust as Ryan Leaf
On that.
and DeMarcus Russell? Is
Oh,
he as big a bust as those two?
wow.
Yes or no in the chat for me, please.
Man, make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure if you are tuned in, you hit the like button. So when we get off this live, we can go check. We can see who all hit that like button. But nah, man, definitely tap in, man. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, man. Get us out there. Official Doe, we appreciate you. You see the grow out in the background. That's my guy, man. Official Doe, make sure y'all tap in. But one take Zay, we appreciate you. He said, nah, he had some good years. Official Doe said, no way. And again, one take Zay said, bro is trash. Level up. He doesn't have the mental makeup. He's, he said, he ain't no Ryan Leaf.
Well, hey, Ben Simmons, you're not in the same category with Ryan Leaf and DeMarcus Russell.
He said, maybe like a
Oh,
second.
maybe like Sam Bowie. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, whenever you talk about Sam Bowie and the fact that he was drafted before Michael Jordan, so I guarantee you, everywhere he goes, he
Man,
got to hear that, dude. You was picked before Michael Jordan,
Jordan.
and you ain't do nothing.
He said, man, yeah, it's like now he got me thinking about. He said Anthony Bennett is a bust. You got me thinking about when they picked Darko Milicic before Carmelo Anthony. Man, I
Um,
was, and I watched the documentary on that, and shout out to Carmelo, man, one of the greats ever. We know he a Hall of Famer. Shout out to your Hall of Fame, everything. But when he talked about it, it's just he said I was going to hoop at every gym. You know what I mean? Like that's a true hooper, man. And I think if he would have went to Detroit, man, he'd have had him a couple championships. I think he would have probably been decorated even more. But I think with what he did with the Olympics, I think it's special. And I think to me, he's. I'm really trying to think of any other Olympic player that I really was able to watch on a regular. I think Kobe and Melo is my two favorite Olympic players that I was actually able to see with my own eyes. No, Melo's a Hall of
he
Fame.
said it's mellow or bust.
Never. That's my guy. Stay Melo. My guy, man. I even watch Cayenne and just watching him continue to get better and watching him follow, but make his own path is something special to see, man. Definitely.
You know, one thing that I from just watching to listening to a couple of different shows, um, and when Iverson ended up going to Denver, uh, and just the way that whole thing played out, man, Iverson's the way his career ended, Melo the way his career ended, those guys can still get buckets, bro. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, you're not letting these guys get buckets. You limiting their minutes and all that, and that's kind of sort of how those dudes ended up fading out of the NBA. And
Yep.
I heard the Teague talk about how once you get to a certain, I guess, well, I mean, it didn't happen to Kobe, it didn't happen to LeBron, but at some point, teams they'll let you know, oh, you only gonna get this many minutes, and do what you got to do with that many minutes. But that's it. And I'm like, what? You mean to tell me if a dude is still able to ball, he can't get enough minutes? He's limited on his minutes. I'm like, what? What is? It just baffles me, man, because I really felt like Carmelo Anthony could still play and was still a good player. He still
Yeah.
couldn't be stopped on that low post. He still had crazy mid range game. I felt like he still could have been balling. We already know Iverson was still balling. He was still dropping 20 plus
Yeah.
a night. And I'm like, and these dudes sort of like they got phased out of the game for some reason.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I didn't understand that, man. I probably will never understand it.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Let's see what else we got going on in the chat before we go into this NFL action. Exactly, official though. You gotta let AI cook until he decides to sit
Yeah,
himself
so,
down.
yeah,
I mean, he was still balling, bro.
yeah. Like I was, and the crazy thing, like people don't realize, like it seemed like he slowed down in his game, but he was still fast, giving you doses of that. Like it's crazy, man. Like he just do his thing. Melo do his thing. I think you could put Melo. Melo went and worked out right now. I say let's say 2027, the start of 2027. Melo could go work out the whole year and play in the Olympics. Melo could have just played with the Olympic team that just played. That's how great of a player Carmelo Anthony is. Hell, I even say Iverson could have went out there at the time when he was ending his prime and played with that Olympic team and ran around with them. Like these is great players and the craft of what they do, and not just that they're not worldwide. They're continental. They're you know I mean it's crazy. They have their own following, but it's just massive. Carmelo Anthony. As soon as you say that, you know what you get. Allen Iverson, you know what you're getting. But them two to be on the same team was crazy. And seeing what they did, and like you said, how they phased them out just didn't make sense, man. It never made sense to me.
Yeah, but I mean that's a good point you made. One take, Zay. I mean, you don't want to have to pay those guys for making all-star teams and all of that kind of stuff, man. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, these are the guys who pack seats. I mean, in the arena that you collecting money from ticket sales. So you would
Yeah,
think that they would want to do something. Let's change gears real quick and talk a little bit about the NFL before we wrap up the show. We're right at around 42 minutes. Super Bowl 60 is Sunday. What odds are you giving the Patriots against the Seahawks? Do they got a chance, Mossberg?
this is 50-50 for me, man. I think we're gonna be in for a great Super Bowl. Um, we have rookies on both sides of the ball. I think we know what the rookies that's made the impact. For that Patriots team and Henderson. But for me, I wanted to talk about two rookies for Seattle. One on the defensive side, one on the offensive side. That's X factors. I think they both rookies. One out of North Dakota State. The other one we know out of South Carolina. Blaze the 40. Nick Imanwari. You know, they don't really talk much about him. He's been the X factor. He's going to be healthy. I think he plays a big part. And the guard that I'm talking about is Gray Zabel. He's only gave up 2 sacks this season. I mean, for a rookie out of North Dakota State, you asking this man to go out there and protect your quarterback at all costs within his guard position. You know, I think when you look at the Seattle team, their defense is crazy. I just look at it as a 50-50 right now for me. I don't think it's going to change. Only thing might change is my pick. Outside of that, I think we're gonna be in for a game that if you don't watch it, you're gonna miss something special. And I'm gonna have to watch it from work, so I'm gonna be tuned in for sure. Appreciate it as well, official though. He said, "Keep it up, big dogs. Salute the whole team. Got to shake. Work's never done. Appreciate you, bro. I know he probably getting some of that great merch that you see in the background, now, man. So make sure you tap in to official though, man. He got some good candles too as well on all kind of great aromas for you. The gear, the merch, all that great stuff as well, man, for sure.
Is that his website? Is that the name of
So
his website?
his website is you could get him growup.clothing. It's at my Shopify. I get him. I send you the link and
Yeah,
everything.
send me the link. Send me the
Uh,
link for sure. I will definitely support. I'll definitely support. Uh, the Super Bowl last year was a blowout, right?
yeah,
Can the NFL afford for 2 years in a row to have such a boring football game in the Super Bowl? I don't think they can, man. Even though this thing looks like it's going to be lopsided, I feel like the NFL is going to do something to make this thing competitive. They're going to make this thing close. Remember when the Giants played the Patriots and the Patriots was undefeated? They were going for the record. Nobody in their mind thought that the Giants was going to beat the Patriots or even was going to be in the game. That's how good the Patriots look. I'm thinking this is going to be similar to that. We don't think that this Patriots team is going to be able to hang with this Seahawks team and it's going to be a blowout, but I don't think so. I just don't think that they're going to allow that to happen, man. I think that they already letting them know, listen, you're going to keep this thing close, man. We can't afford another blowout like we got last year because people was probably turning their TVs off at halftime,
Yes, yeah.
and they don't want that. So I think it's going to be a close game, not because the Patriots are any good, but because the NFL ain't going to have it.
They go have it. Yeah, for sure. I ain't watching past halftime last year myself. I definitely did. It was just a mauling going down.
Yeah, I'm sounding like my cousin Howard Marsh and T1 on the Vegas conspiracy theory stuff, which we all know that it ain't really conspiracy theory. That's facts. We don't watch too much college football this past season where people had an opportunity to win some money and something fluky happened, and you like, whoa, are you serious? My $250 I was about to win went out the drain.
We
Not
learned
not
about
my 250, but somebody else because I don't gamble.
no, sir. We learned about that point five this year watching all these games for sure.
Yeah, yeah, that point five
That
was
bug
coming in full
joke
effect, wasn't it?
that he said. One take SEC shot. He said Jamaican. He said Jamaican bobsled team is back. Where is that? I can't get it up here. He said he just made me think about the movie Cool Runnings. That's what really got me into bobsledding even more. Said Jamaican bobsled team is back. You know I'm gonna be tuned in. I'll be watching them too every year to see what they looking like, man. If they back, you know it's time for that movie to come out. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. Fan Doze, I mean SEC Sean, he said he got the Seahawks by 10.
Yeah. One take, Zay. I remember you did say Gray Zabel was going to the Seahawks in the first round. I'm gonna go look at my sheet because I think I still got it. I think I had him going in the first round to Seattle too. I'm gonna check my sheet. I definitely had him going in the first round, but I'm
Yeah.
not 100% sure I had him going to the Seahawks though. But I think I still got my sheet from last year when we did that NFL draft, and hopefully we get a chance well, y'all get a chance to do it this year because I'm going to the draft. Because I would like for us to do that again, man. That was fun. That was
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of fun.
I got literally every notebook that from when we first started. Like all of our like notes and stuff, I got every notebook. So I'm gonna have to go back and check it too to see how we did. Because we did like I mean we every draft pick that we made, we was pretty much spot on, and even with the thoughts of some of the picks that they picked later in the draft, and in the one with Seattle with Nick and this Zabel, that we're talking about. Those were two guys we talked about heavy in this draft too.
Yeah. I ended up deleting that freaking video, man, instead of having YouTube edit out the stuff that was copyrighted. I ended up deleting the whole video, man. I'm so mad. I hope y'all didn't.
Is
Because
it no?
I
I
ended up
didn't.
deleting the whole
I could.
freaking video.
I'll send it to you. I'll just go scroll down and send it to you. I still got it. I ain't get rid of it.
Yeah, I wish I would have kept that thing. Now that I know that they can edit out the parts that, are copyrighted, but I deleted about 15 videos like that, man, and I wish I
Uh,
wouldn't have done that. And
yeah.
then, Fat News had told me what to do, and I didn't listen to him. I went ahead and deleted.
Nah, we
That's what
good.
I get, too.
We're gonna need that expertise at FanDuel, man. You already know what I'm talking about because we got some highlights for you, boy. It's been a great season this year, man.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on how should the Patriots handle the Seahawks offense? Should they key on the run or take away JSN, Jackson Smith, and Jigba?
You got to pick your poison because Kenny
Pick your
Walker is
poison.
coming out like a beast. He running like Jerome Bettis. If you really look at him, he been running like the bus in the playoffs. Like he's one person touching, that next person is going to take him and a couple more to get him down. So, respect the Marshawn Lynch, who was a former back because he running like him as well. If they get him some Skittles on the sideline this weekend and Marshawn Lynch out there, which I think he will be, it might be trouble for the Patriots. But I think they definitely have to go heads up. You can't key in on Jackson Smith. You can't key in on Walker. You got to play because if you try to do that, somebody's going to get loose. If you don't double team Smith and Jigba, or if you think you got to put 8 in the box, Smith and Jigba going to go over top. They have more than Jigba. You got Cup that's been finding himself, but I know they're going to prepare for Walker. So I think they gotta stop the run game. The run gets everything started. So they gotta find a way to put 8 in the box, disguise some things, stunt, blitz at the corner, even at the safeties, to try to throw Darnold off. They have to because I think people question Darnold. This is the game where he take off, and you just might see him and Smith and Jigba connect on not one or two, possibly more. I'm just saying it could get like that because Darnold is that type of quarterback to me.
Yeah, you would think that, oh, yeah, let's go ahead and stop this run and make Sam Darnold beat us. But Sam Darnold been throwing some good balls, man. He's been balling. And when you got a receiver that's a number one, I mean, a true number one, bro,
Yeah,
it's tough, man. It's tough. It's pick your poison. But, I mean, if I had to go either way, I want to stop the run because we all know that if somebody can run the football on you, you can cancel Christmas. So
yeah.
you definitely got to try to stop the run. I don't know what else they can do to stop JSN though. We have to wait and see, man. Hopefully they got a game plan for him,
Man,
but I would definitely stop the run first and then hope that I could get some pressure on Sam Darnold and make him, get a little squirrely. But he's been playing some really, really good football. Last question that we got in there, unless we got any more from the chat, is do the Seahawks have the advantage in all three phases of this game?
uh, I want to say yeah, but I honestly feel that'll be disrespectful to New England. New England is a great team. I think a lot of people gonna come into this pick in Seattle, but I'm telling you, Drake May, Diggs, Henderson, Vrabel. I mean, it's so many more names. I can't think of all of them on this New England team. I think is it Booty, the receiver. I mean, they got so many players on this team. Like I might not be able to make my selection until this weekend. Like it's really that tough right now. Like I said, it's 50-50, but man, that's just my thoughts. I think respectably, I think it's an even game. I think it's really an even game. You got two great quarterbacks, you got two great running backs, and they equally use everybody. You got rookies on both sides playing great football. Like I said, quarterbacks to the receivers to the running backs. Even though Smith and Jigba is the guy at the receiver position overall, Diggs was that guy at one point, and he's still doing great things for this New England team. So, man,
Yeah, I mean, I think that they have the advantage at all three. I mean, they got a dynamic kickoff returner, punt returner. They probably got the best punter in the freaking game out of Texas, of course. My man, you know what I'm saying? That guy, man, listen, he single handedly won a bowl game for us.
yeah,
And I think that their offense, I mean, you got a run game, You got JSN. Their defense is best in the league. So I think they got the advantage, but that don't necessarily mean they're gonna win. Because on any given Sunday, you could lose, man, to a
Okay.
team. I mean, we've watched teams who were winless go and beat a team we had no idea they was gonna beat. It's the NFL, so any given Sunday you can get beat. I
Yeah.
think they got the advantage, but that don't necessarily mean they're gonna win this game. And my man SEC Sean said he thinks Vrabel will have a plan for Darnold for sure. I'm quite sure he will. Hopefully it works for him and they can get a Super Bowl. FanDuel said he got Buckeyes on both sides. He ain't choosing a winner. Yeah, we got some Longhorns on both sides. On both sides too. Not that I'm competing with you though, fan or one take. I ain't competing with
I will say this though, that New England linebacking core, they special. For them to be, you know, where they at, I would say being in the Super Bowl, you can't do it without having a great linebacking core for sure. But I think they definitely should get some recognition. And I think if this New England team could come out top, I think it is the linebackers that perform very well and putting pressure on Smith and Jigba when he come across the line, depending on what coverages they are in. I mean, all those little things I think play a part in a game this big. I see them talking about those great commercials. I can't wait for them either. I look forward to the commercials.
you. Yeah, I look forward to the commercials too, man. But there was one year where the commercials was unbelievable, and I think from that year on, it everybody. I mean, they always watch the commercials, but this one year it was unbelievable. Them commercials was unbelievable, and so ever since then, I've been kind of watching the commercials,
Yeah,
and every year they haven't even gotten close to that year that I'm thinking
yeah,
about. Back when they had the Clydesdales doing the
yeah,
football thing,
yeah.
and the dude chased down the daggone leopard and pulled the Mountain Dew or the Coke or something out his throat. I mean, them commercial that set of
Crazy.
commercials is probably the best ever.
Yeah,
And so of course I watch them. I wonder if this year's halftime show will get talked about as much as the one we watched last year with all that was going on and the way that Kendrick Lamar did his thing on that. I probably watched that halftime show probably a couple dozen times,
man.
and a lot of it still went over my head. So I had to ask a whole bunch of young people a bunch of questions.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like for me, it was just seeing sound. You know, it was breathtaking seeing some of the things for myself. And like you said, I had to watch it, a few times to really grasp everything in it. And it's just something to be on the stage that big and to put everything to the side and really lock into what you're doing. And I think for him to have that type of performance, it was special. And like you said about those commercials, I think about the one with the football and the Heisman where they was throwing in a football fumble. They looked and it was about to hit the ground and they all said fumble. You got all the greats, the legends that they positions going out there, throwing the ball, trying to tackle and all those things. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some great commercials. Don't let us down this year. Get it back like Unc said with the Clydesdales and all those great things. Coca-Cola out of Cheetah's mouth. Do the inevitable with these Super Bowl commercials this year. Show us something we haven't seen before. Pull Kendrick Lamar out of a Coca-Cola bottle, singing his "Not Like Us" for us this year for the Super Bowl commercial. I don't know. Do something we haven't seen before, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
All right, cool, cool. Everybody, make sure you tune in tomorrow for my man SEC Sean. He's going to be there doing a Winter Olympics chat tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Uh, we getting some more ice and snow, man. Whoa, I'm tired.
Everybody.
I'm tired of that weather, man. Matter of fact, I'm about to go out here and flip my daggone windshield wipers up so that they don't be stuck in the morning when I got to go to work.
Right.
Uh, but other than that, man, I'm glad everybody was able to join us and tune in. Please continue to support us. Subscribe to all the channels you see scrolling across. 5 inches. Oh my God, are you serious, bro?
Bro, and I gotta work this weekend, man.
Oh man.
Coming.
Just everybody subscribe and hit the notification bell and continue to support us because we really are trying to grow our channels and we really are putting out a lot of content. We're going almost every day of the week. So continue to support us and be with us. We appreciate you and we thank you so very much for all that. Anything else you got to add, my man, Mossberg?
Nah, I was just laughing at what SEC Shaw said. He is so silly, man. We appreciate everybody, like you said, tuning in. We going look forward to bringing you some of the games. Me and City League TV, me and Unc been talking about him coming out and catching me coaching with the youngsters, man, over at Linden Rec, man. So if y'all get a chance, man, come out, support as well, man. Linden Rec. I've been coaching with the youth for the last couple months throughout my busy schedule. On Wednesday evenings at 6 o'clock, 6:45. The games take place that time, man. Come out and support the youth, man. It's something that we've been doing. Just a way of us giving back, man. Spending our time with it. I get it from Unc. Unc was I've been watching him work with kids since I first started working with kids, and it just continues to push me when I'm out there doing what I do. And like he said, keeping the torch lit, that's something big for me, throughout the community and life period. I think if you keep that torch lit, I think, there's only greater things to come out of that. So make sure as well you tune in to City League TV. We definitely got some more bangers for you. Middle school basketball for you this week and high school basketball. And if it's you, make sure you come out and check us out when we're doing those games. You're more than welcome to come up and sit with us. City League TV, we'll be in our shirts and you'll see us with the camcorder, those things. And I'm going to try to make it to the West Zone and East game tomorrow. Myself, West Zone, East is at West Zone. I'm going to try to go make it at that game and support my ex-coach, Mr. Coach Wolford, who's doing a great job in keeping the tradition going over at East as well. Other than that, man, make sure if you get a chance, tune in to Level Up Sports 10 on Instagram. I've been working on a few edits with some of the athletes throughout the city. If it's you, type in, DM me. It don't matter. You know how to get a hold of us. I'm definitely willing to get to you and work on some of your edits for you as well. And that's what we do. We willing to help out and do whatever it is we can do when we have that time and availability to support any and everything when it comes to the youth and those even at the college level as well who we've watched grow up. So if it's you, definitely tap in. And we appreciate you, definitely always got to give you your flowers, man, and being able to bring us here to do what we do. And it's crazy because I was looking forward to the show today in what we do because I know I've been working crazy. So you definitely will see me this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. I do work, but I'm going to make sure that I stay up and I won't be going to sleep at all. And I'm going to make sure that for this weekend's great streams because we're talking that good Super Bowl college basketball talk. So definitely I'm going to be up for
SEC Sean, you crazy, man. He says so much white powder tomorrow. Michael
it.
Irvin is jealous.
Man. Wow.
Wow, boy, SEC Sean. All right, y'all have a good evening, man. Appreciate you joining me, Mossberg. Have a
Yes,
good
sir.
evening, bro, and I'll talk to you soon.
Peace in the
All
building
right.
and be out.